Hello, hello, my lovely friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought we would try something a little bit different, and I'm gonna try and do what the kids call a vlog. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I thought I think I know what a vlog is, but then just when I said it, I thought, is it supposed to take place over a prolonged period of time? Not just an afternoon catch-up? I don't know. Anyhow, today's video is really just going to be a bit of a catch-up. And just, I guess, sort of like an update. Because I don't really have anything specific that I'm working on, or I hadn't really planned anything in advance for you. But what I thought might be kind of fun was just to show you what I'm going to be working on over the weekend and sort of just what's going on around here, because my sort of official Halloween making days are over because it's almost October. And so I'm not doing any more Halloween art for postcards, and I'm not making any more Halloween journals per se. Although I have been thinking about the fact that I'm going to start working on my dark winter journals sometime in the next week. Let's be honest, I was going to say in the next week, but it's probably going to be in the next 2 weeks, because there's a lot of other Halloween stuff to do. And but anyways, so yeah, I thought I've just got some stuff floating around. I thought I would show you my Halloween mantle. I know I put that at the beginning of the last video, where I did the searching for autumn digitals. But I thought it might be kind of fun to give you a little bit of a more detailed look and a little bit of an explanation about some of the things that I have up there, because I thought it might kind of inspire you for your own Halloween decorating. And yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a mishmash video. But I thought it would be fun to just share some stuff with you, and then we can hang out for a little bit, and you can see what I'm doing, and then you can tell me what you're doing, and I think it would be good. So, the one thing that I did do that I was going to quickly show you is I made what I call my dark journal for the winter. And I call it my dark journal because it's where all the dark thoughts go. It's where I write down and journal and collage and do all the stuff that we do with the hard thoughts and the difficult feelings and the dark stuff, the shadowy stuff, the stuff that we struggle with, right? And I like to separate those thoughts and feelings and that art for various reasons. But because I have to say, since I started my dark journal escapades, at first it felt kind of weird, because I don't know how to articulate it other than I sort of felt like I was hiding, for lack of a better word. And then I came to understand that, yes, I was hiding, but in a good way, not in a bad way, not in a sort of, I'm la 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 la, to the dark, heavy stuff that I need to deal with. But I was just hiding the things from the rest of the world that I'm trying to figure out in my own time and in my own way, right? And so normally what I would do is I would take a 12 by 12 piece of paper, fold it in half, and then just do one signature. But because I think, that's the theory, I want this to last me for the whole winter season. I want this to go until March. And then in March I make a lighter springtime dark journal. But what I did was I decided to do 2 signatures. And I didn't do a fancy cover. This is just scrapbook paper that I wasn't super crazy about, because I think what I'm going to do as time goes on, I'm going to collage over this. And I'll probably do some, I don't know what, you know, just stickers and stuff. Like maybe things that I've cut out of magazines and things that sort of fit where I am now emotionally, and the things that I'm trying to work out, and the things that I'm thinking through, you know, because let's be honest, these things usually take a lot of time and patience, which is the not gonna lie, I'm not great with patience sometimes when it comes to dealing with my feelings and my thoughts, but I thought it might be kind of fun to sort of plaster the cover as I go through the weeks and the months with things that come up that really speak to me. So I've never done a 2-signature journal like this for this purpose. So let's sort of see, we'll see where we get. We'll see how it goes. I won't be showing you the inside of this because this is, like I said, this is where all the deep, dark, the really nasty stuff goes. I mean, because let's be honest, we've all got these nasty, uncomfortable feelings and thoughts, and it's hard. It's hard. Some days are harder than others, and some days you just wonder what's going on in my brain. And so for me, part of that process is really helped by creating a journal for myself that I know that no matter what goes in here, no matter what the thoughts are, no matter what the feelings are, they belong in here. So I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to pretend anything. It's very freeing. And I know that our journals, as a general rule, are supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be a place where we share our thoughts and our feelings with ourselves, that we get it out, because it's the process of getting it out that's so cathartic, right? But I know in the past that there have been times where I've held back things and I haven't put them in my journal because they made me very uncomfortable. And later I have questioned, you know, I'm like, well, why would you hold back with yourself? Right? And there's about 10 different answers for that. But once I sort of made the commitment to myself that I would create a space where I don't have to censor myself, where I don't have to pretend. Okay, I know other people have talked about this, and because there is that thing where, you know, sometimes I think, what if I got hit by a bus tomorrow? God forbid. Knock wood, I don't. But what if I got hit by a bus tomorrow and my Milosh comes down, my husband or my friends, and they're going through my things and they have to get rid of everything, and what if they read it? What if they read it? And I know that what we were talking about this in the comments of another video. I'm sorry, totally, I'm having a brain burp. But there was this thing about somebody was talking about how, for that exact reason, they didn't write the things in their journals that they wanted to write because they were afraid their daughter would read it. And then somebody else had talked about they had found a journal written by a family member, and when they read what was in there, they just about died, no pun intended, of shock of how this family member was really feeling. And so there is that. And I don't really know how you reconcile with that, except, I'm going to say that again. that. Except that I think you have to decide who are you writing in the journal for and why. And I have sort of come to a place where I made peace with if something happens to me and I get hit by a bus tomorrow and my friends and family go through my things and they read it, I'm dead. So I don't know. This is complex, and this is not where I thought this video was gonna go, but I'm just gonna go with the flow here. Yeah, this is a complex thing. This is a difficult thing. Although I will say this. Usually what happens with my journals that I write the deep, dark, hard stuff in, I don't keep them around for very long. Unless there's something in it that I think I really, really, really need to reference and go back to and connect with my past self in a way that can bring more help and healing to my present self. But I find that I usually tuck journals away for maybe, I was going to say 4 years. It depends what I'm going through, to be honest. It depends what's happening. And usually what I do, because I don't want to keep that energy around. I don't want to keep all of the darkness of those feelings that went into that journal. I usually get to a point where I decide, I don't need it. I don't need to reflect on it. And I don't need to harbor the past. And I don't need to I don't need to relive it in order to still process what I've learned or what I've gained, or the strength that I felt like that I was able to bring to myself because I maybe broke through some stuff, right? I just throw them out. When we had a fire pit in the back, sometimes I would take some of the pages out and burn them. That felt really good, I have to say. But I usually just throw them out because I know that I'm done with them, and it's just something that I don't need to keep, right? And I sort of feel like when I get rid of those journals and I get rid of all those thoughts and I get rid of all that dark, heavy energy, I'm freeing up space in my heart and in my being and in my mind for stronger, better, healthier patterns or behaviors to come in, so I can replace and get rid of the old stuff and hopefully have better things come to me and just be stronger, just be whatever it is, the kind of thing that I want to be, whether it's something about self-esteem or confidence, that when I get rid of all that old junk, I'm making room for better, stronger Lisa to emerge, without getting all too woo-woo about the whole thing. But you guys know what I mean, right? So, there is always the chance that if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, then the journals that I didn't throw out might still be found. But I have asked respectfully that people don't go and read through those things if I get hit by a bus tomorrow. Because I'm like, you're gonna read some stuff that you shouldn't know, you don't want to know. Wow, this video, I started talking about vlogging and now we're talking about me getting hit by a bus and, dark, planning your funeral and estate and your last wishes. Life is funny, isn't it? Life is funny. So, well then, now let's go look at my mantle. Yeah. Anyways, dark journaling. I find comfort in the dark, in the sense that I find the dark to be very calming. I find the dark to be very peaceful, and I find the dark to be very healing and soothing to me. So that's part and parcel why I call it the dark journal, because it's dark is sort of a pseudonym as well for all of those things for me. I know a lot of people don't like the dark, and because, monsters in the dark and shadows in the dark and dark lurks in the dark, right? And I didn't always like the dark. don't get me wrong. I wasn't always, here comes trouble, here comes trouble, here comes trouble. Oh, Sophie. Hi, darling. You want to say hi to everybody? Okay. Hi, what you been doing outside? Oh, yeah? Yeah? And then what happened? And then what happened? She's very quiet today. Okay, maybe that's my cue to move this along, because it's been 15 minutes. And I haven't shown you anything yet except for my journal. Okay, darling. Okay, maybe can we move this just a little bit? Okay, there we go. Sorry. So anyways, I'm excited to get in this. I'm excited to glue stuff in this. I'm excited. I'm looking, there's not, you know, it's like, you want to smell your new journal, and I put black construction paper in here, and it's mostly just black construction paper and cardstock scrapbook paper. And then I'm going to glue and collage and paste my little heart out. And then I'm hoping that because I put the double signature in, that it's going to get nice and chunky, but it'll still be manageable. And I put some of my coffee dyed paper in there. So yeah. Oh, there's some nice spooky forest paper for Halloween. And that's that. And then, like I said, I left the, I did put a back thing in here for paper, but I know that, you know, using cardstock isn't necessarily the strongest cover in the world, but I figure as I collage and Mod Podge and put stuff over it, it'll get a lot thicker and sturdier. So, okay, so now that we've recovered from the dark journal talk, let's go look at a couple things that I'm working on upstairs and a couple things that are on my desk. And Sophie says, "But I'm on your desk. Look at me. Look at me, Mommy." Yes, Sophie, you're beautiful. Yes, you are. Okay, everybody, I'm going to turn the camera around, and we'll be right back. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, Roo. Now, Sophie is still here, obviously, on my desk. So she said she would like to participate. So here we are. I have this skull chandelier that's going to be going outside for Halloween. My best friend made this, I think, about 4 years ago. And she got this old black lamp, from, I think she got it at the Goodwill. And then she just basically glued on all kinds of skulls. We got these battery-powered candles. But this year I decided I wanted to make it a little bit even more spooky. So this afternoon what I'm going to do is I've got this gray meshy stuff. And I'm going to kind of figure out how to... What are you doing? I'm going to kind of like... I'm not exactly sure, but I want to overlay a bunch of it over top. And I'm going to get some spray adhesive so it will hold while it's outside. So yeah, she just sort of zip-tied them around, the plastic skulls that we got at the dollar store. And then she glued on, which is why I think she bought this lamp in particular, because it had these sort of little leaf things here, and she knew she could glue all the skulls on. And I believe that she used liquid nails, is what it's called, to glue them on so that they would stay out, or stay on. Because this hangs up outside by our front porch. And in October, it can rain a lot here. Well, I mean, it rains a lot anywhere in October, but it needed to be waterproof. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get that. I'll just make it a little bit spookier. I mean, it looks great, especially from far away at night when I put the lights on it, but I really want to add it's just one of those, sometimes, you know, you have those decorations and after a while you're like, you know, I could just add something. So that's how I'm feeling today with this. Even if it's the kind of thing where I decide to sort of just hang this more in between, sorry, like that, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm going to cover the whole thing with it. This is so loose that it, you know, it could just fall apart in one big clump sort of and hang down. So there's that. And the other thing that I was going to do today, so I have this binder that I got at Value Village, and I use it to, there's a rumble in the jungle behind me. Hey, Lucy. Don't be mean to Sophie. She's just trying to talk to you a little bit. Sibling rivalry. Okay, so I've got this binder. It's sort of like a Filofax binder. And it was some sort of planner that I got. And I bought these plastic sleeves on Amazon. And I put my acrylic stamps in here. Which is turning out great, except for it's totally full. And this isn't going to hold all of the acrylic stamps that I've bought because I have no self-control. And so I've been thinking about a different way to try and store my acrylic stamps and then use this binder for something else. So I thought I would just put it out there and ask you guys how you store your acrylic stamps. Because this is great. I don't mind this. But it's obviously very limiting. So these sleeves, how many of these sleeves I have got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops, sorry, I'm holding my phone and trying to do this at the same time. So I have 11 of those sleeves in there. And this thing is like full to the rim. So I'm kind of thinking that I would keep them in these sleeves, but maybe I need a bin. And I've Googled it, and I've been on Pinterest, and I've looked around all over. And I don't really see anything else that has really wowed me. So I'm very curious if you guys have some solutions out there. I would love to know how you store your acrylic stamps, because I have another basket somewhere. The seasonal ones, the Halloween ones, I'll just put those away, of course, after Halloween. Where's my... Whoops, sorry. You're like, wait, I'm getting seasick. I have a bunch in here. And some of them will go away because I won't need them after Halloween necessarily. But yeah, I got some... I'm just curious. I don't want to leave them in this bin like this. And I don't want to have to go and get another one of these. That doesn't seem like an ideal solution to me, to have a ton of these binders. Because then we get back to the old situation where you're like, I have all of these in different binders, but then I forget what's in the binder. So I'm thinking if I had them in some sort of box, then if they're all together, then I'm flipping through them, and then I'm less apt to forget what's in there. That's just sort of my theory. But anyways, okay, so that's part of my vlog today. I think it's a vlog. Some days I'm so not hip. Okay, so then here I just thought I would quickly show you. This is my setup for where I've been doing the videos, the shorts and things for my postcards. So I'm lucky enough to have this space where I've been able to put the green screen fabric behind. And then I got this great old teacher's desk, and my neighbor was throwing it out. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, if you want it, you can have it. So it came apart. It's huge. The desktop service is amazing. I absolutely love it. And it's perfect for doing photography and doing the videos because the space is so big. Oh, here's Sophie again. Oh no, it's Lucy. And then it's got these drawers that I use to keep some of the photography stuff in there and some props and things like that. So this is an excellent, excellent space because then I can have lights here on either side and it's always ready to go, so I'm not constantly packing and unpacking because that really would make me crazy. And then if I don't want to use the green screen behind there, I can just cover it up easy peasy with something else. So yeah, what are you finding back there? Uh-oh, be careful. And then yeah, I've just got some of my props sitting around. Things that I use. As you can see, I have a very technical system here of holding up my camera because I did the video where I had the postcards and I wanted to make it look like we were looking through the eye of the ghost the other day. So I just had the camera. I had to get the right level, of course, so I was trying to find whatever boxes I could. So, okay, let's go upstairs and I'll show you the Halloween mantle because I want to add some lights to it later tonight. And, hey, there's no room in that little window. And, yeah, so let's go upstairs. Okie dokie, so this mantle and everything on it is a compilation of about, I'd say a good 6 years worth of work. I mean, I've had a Halloween mantle since we moved in here 10 years ago, but it's taken on various looks and stages and things over the years. And this as a sort of collection is about, yeah, I'd say about 6 or 7 years old. It's gotten to the point now where I love the way it looks. It's this sort of combination of a witch's apothecary slash spooky forest slash little bit of graveyard, ghosts, and I like spooky. I like a little bit of creepy, like I've said before. I don't like gory. I don't like any of that stuff. But I do like the sort of, I like my Halloween to be a little bit creepy, but it's mostly witches and ghosts and goblins. And so it's finally at the point where I really just love the vibe and the feel of it. And I can put it up now without really thinking too much about what goes where and why. So let's see, what have I got over here? So this is my bone powder. As you can see, 100% verified bone powder, which is made from garlic chips, if I'm honest. There's a little spider in there. So I really love to take bottles that could sort of look like I said, like a witch's apothecary type thing. And there are the kitties that I got for my birthday trip. I think that one of the things that really helps with the mantle, give it the really interesting look that it has, is that there's so many different heights involved. So it's not just everything in one sort of straight line along. And I find that really helps, I think, make it, what's the word I'm looking for? It really helps give it some depth. That's the word that I'm looking for. And then sometimes I just put these clear bottles in here and in here to sort of diffuse the light a little bit and to take some of the harshness away from the lights that I have with using for backlighting, right? So, and I've got some cake plates that I found at the Goodwill that I've just spray painted, and those were some display hands that I found a few years ago at the Goodwill as well. I think they were supposed to have rings or bracelets on them. And then I just got this creepy looking moss from the dollar store, and they make perfect creepy hands holding a skull. And then my other favorite trick, not unlike everybody else who loves figurines, I like to buy the figurines for cheap at the Goodwill and then just spray paint them. Now, at the beginning, when I bought them, I was painting them black. As you can see here, I've got this girl here, and then this angel here. But I think actually this year, both of these, I'm going to spray paint them with the pearlescent white. Because I had shown them on Instagram a couple years ago, and somebody had said, oh, because I know, I had them on Instagram, and I was trying to figure out how to light them up better and make them look spooky. And somebody said, well, they're ghosts. Why aren't they white or silver? And I was like, oh. So I'm, you know, a little bit embarrassed to say that it didn't really ever occur to me, but it didn't occur to me. So when I got this lady here, who's supposed to be actually a figurine that was playing the piano, I thought it looked more like she was conjuring up ghosts or spirits from the beyond. But yeah, I got this pearly white spray paint, and I did her, and then this creepy couple here, I spray painted them with the pearlescent white. And I was like, ah, that's so much better. They're just, they look like, especially at night, they really do shine like ghosts. So I have those, and then we've got the crow candlestick here. I have little battery powered candles that are gonna go on top there. I'll do that tonight. Then I got this hand, the palmistry hand. That came from Michael's a few years ago, and I just, I got actually some of my ink, my Tim Holtz ink, and my dauber, and I just inked it up and made it look a little bit dirty. And that's just on a clear microwave plate. No, candle plate. You see them at the Goodwill all the time. And then I got my fake mice and stuff in there, more of that sort of funny moss looking stuff. And then these teeth, this is a mold, a dental mold from my friend Emily. And she'd given them to me because the dentist, she had a few years at the dentist, and they're like, we got to offload these we've got to offload these. Do you want them? And she's like, yes, my friend Lisa will love them for Halloween. So I did a blog post about how I basically just coffee dyed these because it's a very porous porcelain. And then again, I went in with some paint and some old eyeshadow actually. And I sort of made the teeth pretty yucky looking, and then stuck more of that moss and stuff around them, and then just put it under the plastic dome. And then these two ladies with their heads, with no heads, there's that one there, and then there's this one here. And I found those in the beauty bath department at Value Village. And they had little hooks on the tops that were coming out of their neck. And I think they were supposed to be ring holders or something. And I just took the hooks out because then they look like amazing headless ladies. So those were total scores. I got my little mousey there. And then we've got just the spooky guys in the grave there, and I want to put some lights in behind, some little twinkle lights in behind there tonight. And this was just one of those clear jewelry boxes. I found this at Value Village one year as well. And then the doll hands I just glued with E6000 onto the little mirror. And I have to say, I was a little bit nervous because I was afraid if I got the glue on the mirror and I didn't get the hands just right, that I would screw it up. But it turned out okay. And they've been on there for like 3 or 4 years. So that's worked out really good. This came from Michael's last year. And then the spooky trees I got at Target a few years ago. Well, obviously before COVID. And then this little box here, I haven't quite finished. I need some more creepy crawlies to come out of this, but this was a very ugly little jewelry box that I got at the Goodwill, and then I just painted it the flat black. And then our spirit goes on top there. And that's a moon lamp. I haven't turned it on. It's one of those ones I got it on Amazon. And this one came with a remote, and it has a bunch of colors in it. So that's really fun. And then the hand is from Michael's from years ago, and the Spells Cast here, that's from Michael's this year. And then when I first started doing the Halloween mantle, I was very much into putting stuff in jars with food coloring. As you can see there's a spider there, and there's some skulls there, and up in there, I forget what I put in there. Oh, it's a mouse. There's a mouse in there. Usually I have lights in behind this little shelf thing that I got at the Goodwill, but the lights broke and I have to replace them. I haven't done that yet. But anyways, I was really into making jars with food coloring, and so I called this the Nightmare Elixir. And I got these black spiky things for floral arranging from Michael's. And then I just put it in there with the green food coloring, and at night it looks super spooky. And I like the idea that in this jar there's a bunch of nightmares and bad dreams swirling around and getting stuck in amongst all of the plastic things, the branches. So that is that there. And then I got my three-headed dog from Harry Potter. I'm gonna paint this black this weekend. I love that. That looks great there. And then we've just got sort of a spooky looking doll head underneath the glass there. Those were sort of horn, antler, plastic. They look like antlers. I don't know what they were for originally, but they had been glued onto some hat that I found at the Goodwill. And then I just took them off the hat, and I was like, oh, if you put it in with the spooky doll face there. Hang on, I'm just gonna get up. And then I got some bugs from the dollar store. And the metal, there's a little metal fence in there that I found again at a garden center for fairy houses. And I just bent it a little bit. And then that became sort of like the spooky graveyard scene with the spooky head and the antlers. And then in here, this is just all food coloring. Yeah, there's a mouse. You can't really see with the glare. And I just put the plastic skulls. I just jammed them right in there with this one. These have been in here now for almost 10 years. It's pretty grody. I would hate if the lid fell off. It's really gonna smell. But what I do sometimes now, if you want to do something like this and you're just adding water and the food coloring, add some vodka, a tiny bit of vodka or rubbing alcohol, and that keeps the water from getting really, really gross and disgusting. The alcohol keeps away all of the sort of junk that eventually shows up in old water. So when I get the lights in behind it, I'll show you guys again later. And then I got some peppercorns, and I bought all of these labels. I got printables from Etsy, and but these are bat droppings. And then the spooky, screamy lady, I saw this on Pinterest, and I absolutely fell in love with this idea. And I just basically, I just printed off the lady, and it was hard to get her in there, but I rolled her up and then popped her in there, and then used some tweezers to sort of get it right in the good position. And then I really like setting her up here and having some light behind her at night. It makes her look a little bit extra spooky. And I used this jar because it has a little bit of the sort of beveling in it, and it helps to distort the image a little bit more. And then I just have those bottles there again to sort of diffuse the light that's behind. This came from, this bat's from Michael's this year. And then the Spooky Lady mirror. I am going to write a blog. I took a ton of photos when I made this mirror, and I'm gonna write a blog post this weekend about how I did this, and when I'm done I will link it on the description box below. So again, my neighbors tend to throw out a lot of furniture. My neighbors throw out a dressing table from the Bombay company, and this was the mirror that was on it. And so the top part up here, that's what would have screwed onto the dressing table. So I turned it upside down. And then basically what I did, I took the back off of it and I sanded away. There's a finish on the back of the mirror. And I lightly sanded it with an electric sander just over and over and over again until the mirror parts started to show through in the back. And then I printed out her face, but in Photoshop, I had put together some layers of her creepy face and then a skull image underneath it. So that's why she sort of has that look of some of her face is missing. Now I'm getting kind of a weird angle, sorry. And then I basically just taped it onto the back. It's very, very simple. Once you have the image that you want to use, I have to say it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And then behind the mirror, I do have some more of these orange lights just tucked in behind, so that it gives a little bit of an extra spooky look behind there as well. Yeah, I think she looks great, especially at night. She looks super creepy at night. And then the netting on the top's just from the dollar store, and it's the same stuff as what I was showing you guys downstairs on the skull chandelier that Katrina made. So there you have it. There you have it. That is the Halloween mantle. Boy, that could be a video all unto itself, couldn't it? So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it will give you some ideas for decorating at your house. And I hope that you'll find it inspiring and just helpful. And it's always fun to see what other people are doing and what they found. And so I would say 90% of all of this came from the Goodwill or Value Village. You just have to keep your eyes out. And I look all year round, right? I'm constantly on the prowl for things that I can paint, things that I can fill. The snake oil, I forgot to tell you about that. That's oil and water. And obviously there's plastic snakes. No, they're real. There are tiny real snakes in there. I did this because I kind of liked the idea, because knowing that oil and water would separate, I like that there's sort of this murky look down in here. And then when I set this up at night and the light shines through, you can just sort of see their heads and their tongues sticking out, which I think looks really fun. And then if you want to, oh, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've tried to mix it up. But then it almost has like this lava lamp look to it. What else did I put? I think I might have put corn syrup. I put corn syrup in here. I totally forgot about that. That's right. I found these things on Pinterest and they were talking about, yeah, I put corn syrup, food coloring, and water. And now that I think about it, the jars, oops. These jars over here on the end, these also have corn syrup in them as well. I was trying to make it look really thick, and thicker than just water. That's right, that's what I did. Hang on here. And yeah, like it's looking pretty murky in there now. I love it. So the thing is too, just before I go, the one thing I will say is that these sort of things, once I made them, and this, I just store everything downstairs in the basement after Halloween is done. So all of this gets stored as is. I don't take all of these things apart. I'm lucky that I have that kind of storage space. But all of these things just get put away. And so the one good thing is that as these things sit and age, they get a little bit more murky. They get a little bit more icky looking. As opposed to if I had to, you know, pour this down the drain at the end of the season, dry it out, and then, you know, go through the whole thing again the following autumn. It just sits downstairs in the basement. It looks really, it's interesting. It provides this look of almost like these little, it's almost like a suspended lava lamp. Not that anybody else is looking at it but me, but I just got a real kick out of doing it. So yeah, so that gets put away as is, that gets put away as is. This gets put away as it is. This, I keep this in this box all year round. It just saves me so much time. And then, yeah, it's done, you know. Okay, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for your kind words and support as always. You guys know how much I really appreciate all of you. And thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Speak kindly to yourselves, and until the next video, happy journaling and have a very spooky weekend, everybody. Mwah. Bye.